Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Analysts say JP Morgan has made a big move into XRP. Ex-Ripple director reacts. Okay, so when it comes to this kind of things, like people saying that these big banks have made this huge secret buy of XRP and that kind of thing, I'm just in a position now where I'm just like, I'll believe it when I see it, to be honest. Like, if you can show me anything that can give me some kind of level of credibility to it, then, fair enough. But I've been in this crypto space long enough to know I'm not just taking things at face value, right? Like, in terms of like chart analysis, I can understand that because at least you're presenting data that you're reading from a chart. And I understand that when you are doing analysis, it can be incorrect. It's more about probability. But when it comes to like saying, yeah, this bank has, made a huge chunk, I don't know about that kind of thing. I'm a bit skeptical. I'd much rather see some kind of, proof or something that you can actually show some substance to the claim. Because look, guys, I've said it before, but I've heard a lot of stories within my time in crypto, specifically about XRP. And every single thing I've heard has just turned out to be nonsense. So, a lot of that stuff, like, I got past that a long time ago. Like my research has really got me to a point where I'm comfortable with what I believe and what I know. So I don't kind of let this kind of stuff cloud my judgment because I believe what I believe at this point. And a lot of this kind of stuff to me, unless there's some real foundation there to the claim, I just don't really give it the time of day. So I'm not saying that this is going to be 100% false because obviously I can't prove it one way or the other. But I do just take this with a pinch of salt, until I can see something that will actually give this claim some level of credibility. But let's get into the article and then we can discuss this further. Ben Armstrong, formerly part of the BitBoy crypto brand, recently rekindled baseless claims about JP Morgan making a big move into XRP, stirring reactions from an ex-Ripple director. Ben Armstrong, who commands some renown as a crypto community influencer, made this disclosure in a series of posts on X. According to him, JP Morgan had made a substantial move into XRP, accumulating over 7.5 million tokens. Prevailing inaccuracies. Armstrong claims this move by JP Morgan constitutes about 7.5% of the bank's total wealth. However, this calculation is incredibly flawed. Notably, 7.5 million XRP currently costs 4.46 million. Stating that 4.46 million is 7.5% of JP Morgan's wealth will put the bank's total wealth at 59.46 million. This is off by a mile, considering JP Morgan has 3.89 trillion in assets, according to the latest figures from a 2023 valuation. In his disclosure, Armstrong talked about the importance of JP Morgan's move, stating that it shouldn't be underestimated. He alleged a quiet accumulation of XRP by JP Morgan, which according to him positions the bank as a major player in the crypto scene. Notably, Armstrong's claims also called attention to BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. He alleged that the asset manager, which recently had its iShares Bitcoin ETF approved, is exploring the inclusion of XRP in its investment portfolio. Ben Armstrong further called attention to the ongoing legal battle between Ripple and the US SEC. According to him, the fact that these major institutions have made these, quote, bold moves, unquote, despite the legal constraint indicates a growing confidence in XRP's future. If such an accumulation trend ever existed, the development would suggest that, as the legal battles persist, influential financial players are placing their bets on XRP, which recently gained regulatory clarity. Ex-Ripple director reacts. Reacting to Armstrong's claims, Matt Hamilton, a former director at Ripple, expressed complete skepticism while doubting that such a purchase ever happened. He questioned its significance in the wild chance that it did, considering XRP supply. The former Ripple director noted that if Armstrong's statement meant that JP Morgan had purchased 7.5 million XRP, that would only amount to 0.0075% of XRP's total supply. Hardly a significant figure. Moreover, Hamilton questioned the accuracy of the claim that the purchase of 7.5 million XRP amounted to 7.5% of JP Morgan's wealth. Leveraging a 3.5 trillion valuation for JP Morgan's total assets, Hamilton showed that the 7.5 million XRP would only amount to 0.00013% of the bank's assets, not 7.5%. Another voice of disbelief came from Daniel, CTO of Eminence, who laughed off the notion that JP Morgan had quietly amassed such a significant portion of XRP. He found humour in Armstrong's statement about the percentage of JP Morgan's total wealth. The false claims first surfaced last year and were swiftly debunked due to their lack of evidence and inaccuracies in calculations. They were first introduced by a source seeking to create a false sense of institutional adoption, and then publicised by influencers. The narrative has now resurfaced, with Armstrong bringing it back into the spotlight as credible news. Some individuals are questioning whether Armstrong's account has been compromised. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I'm definitely not just taking this at face value. I would need to see some level of proof, or just something to give me some kind of level of credibility to the claim. Now, Ben Armstrong, he is a massive crypto influencer, like one of the biggest out there. So I do think it is very possible that he might have inside information. Like, that is a very possible thing. But personally, I'm just not willing to accept this, not just at face value at this point, because even if this is what Ben Armstrong has heard, right, this could be like a Chinese whispers thing, you know, where it starts off as, we're considering buying XRP, or they're considering buying XRP, or they're buying XRP, or they've brought loads of XRP, and it just keeps changing and changing as it goes from person to person, do you know what I mean? And then by the time it gets to like Ben, it could be that he's been told a completely different story. So I'm just not willing to buy this kind of thing without any kind of level of proof. I think it's best that you guys do the same personally. That's just my opinion. Obviously, you guys have got your own minds. It's up to you what you choose to believe and not to believe. But the thing is, this is the type of thing that I talk about with the XRP community. Like, there's a lot of information that we have to really like sift through to try and get real good information and accurate information. And for me with this, if we've got no proof of it, why really give it any kind of time of day? Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if it's wrong, then you're basically basing your whole investment strategy on something that's wrong and couldn't have been proven in the first place. Whereas if you just don't really pay it any mind, if it comes to fruition at a later date, then hey, great. But if not, it's not something that you've kind of clung yourself to and based your whole investment decision and strategy around that information, which very possibly could be false, you know, because as it said here earlier, this is something that came into the community a year ago as well, you know, and it got debunked at that point because there was no real evidence. So, you know, the fact that it's come back up now, not really so sure about that. You know, I'll believe it when I see it, as I say. Me personally, I'm just not giving this the time of day. You know, as I say, it's up to you guys what you want to believe, but there's a lot of information like this kind of stuff out there, and it's easy to get caught up in it because I know it sounds exciting, but don't let that blind the logic. Yeah, don't let that just blind you from accepting what the truth could be or questioning things, you know, just because it sounds good. So for me, who knows if Ben really has got this information? Obviously, I can't say one way or the other, but I'm just not willing to take the information and hang my hat on it. I'm just not going to do that. So, as I say, putting it out there for you guys to see, up to you guys what you want to do with that. But my personal opinion is, if there's no evidence to back it up or just nothing to give this any kind of level of credibility, just take it with a pinch of salt. That's my opinion. But what do you guys think? JP Morgan buying heavily into XRP. Do you like the sound of this? Do you think this is true? If you do think it's true, Do you think this is going to be significant for XRP's price? Or do you not agree with this? Do you not think this is true at all? And do you think this could actually be bad for XRP's price as people start selling the news when they hear that the story could be fake? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'll be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.